From Corsairs tearing through the Pacific skies to Wildcats holding the line at Guadalcanal, Marine Corps fighters evolved from desperate stopgaps into the most lethal aircraft in naval aviation. These were the machines that turned the tide over burning atolls and contested carrier decks, each one a character in the brutal theatre of island-hopping warfare. Let's begin with the fighters that ruled marine skies. Vought F-4U Corsair. The Corsair was the bent-wing legend of marine aviation, combining raw power with unmistakable silhouette. Its inverted gull wing housed a massive 2,000 horsepower engine that made it faster than anything Japan fielded. Though initially rejected by carrier operations for dangerous stall characteristics, Marines made it their own. Grumman F-4F Wildcat. The Wildcat was the guardian of Wake Island and Guadalcanal's desperate early days. Slower and less maneuverable than the Zero, it survived through rugged construction and aggressive tactics. Marine pilots turned its diving speed into an equalizer against more agile opponents. Grumman F-6F Hellcat. The Hellcat became the dominant killer of the Pacific with a staggering 19.1 kill ratio. Built specifically to counter Japanese fighters, it combined speed, firepower, and pilot-friendly handling. By 1944, it had turned American numerical superiority into complete air dominance. Brewster F-2A Buffalo. The Buffalo earned its flying coffin reputation through disastrous early war performance against Japanese fighters. Overweight and underpowered, it was obsolete before Pearl Harbor. Marines at Midway flew them into slaughter, with 2/3 lost in a single engagement. Curtiss P-40 Warhawk. The Warhawk brought its intimidating shark mouth paint scheme to limited Marine service in the Pacific. Though outclassed by newer fighters, it proved durable in ground attack roles. Marines primarily used it for close air support in Burma and China. Vought F-4U-1D Corsair. The F-4U-1D transformed the Corsair from pure fighter into devastating ground attack platform. Capable of carrying 4,000 pounds of bombs or rockets, it became flying artillery for island assaults. This variant made close air support a Marine Corps trademark. Grumman F-7F Tiger Cat. The Tiger Cat was a twin-engine powerhouse that arrived too late to see significant combat. With speed exceeding 400 mph and devastating firepower, it represented the future of marine aviation. Only a handful reached the Pacific before Japan surrendered. Goodyear FG-1 Corsair. The FG-1 was a license-built Corsair produced to meet overwhelming demand for the design. Identical to Vaught's version in performance, it reflected wartime production necessity. Goodyear built over 4,000 examples in their Ohio factory. While fighters ruled the sky, Marine dive bombers became the precision artillery of island-hopping campaigns. Screaming down at near-vertical angles, Marine dive bombers turned battleships into floating coffins and fortified positions, into smoking craters. These were the precision instruments of naval warfare, trading speed for accuracy, trading safety for devastating impact on enemy steel. Next up are the dive bombers and attack aircraft that defined Marine Corps striking power. Douglas SBD Dauntless. The Dauntless earned its slow but deadly nickname by winning the Battle of Midway in 5 catastrophic minutes. Its perforated dive brakes allowed near-vertical attacks with terrifying accuracy. No aircraft contributed more to Japan's defeat. Curtiss SB-2C Helldiver. The Helldiver arrived as the Dauntless replacement, with a reputation sailors summarized as "son of a bitch, second class." Plagued by structural failures and handling problems, it combined superior payload with inferior reliability. Marines preferred their aging Dauntlesses over this troubled beast. Vought SB-2U Vindicator. The Vindicator was obsolete before Pearl Harbor, yet Marines flew them into Midway's maelstrom anyway. Slow and vulnerable, most were, destroyed in futile attacks against Japanese carriers. Survivors were immediately relegated to training duties. Douglas A-20 Havoc. The Havoc brought twin-engine speed and heavy armament to Marine light bomber squadrons. Its shoulder-mounted wing and tricycle landing gear represented modern design. Limited Marine use focused on night harassment missions against bypassed Japanese garrisons. North American B-25 Mitchell. The Mitchell earned eternal fame in Doolittle's Tokyo raid, though Marine use remained limited. Its twin-engine reliability and devastating forward firepower excelled at low-level shipping attacks. Marines deployed it primarily from island bases against supply convoys. Douglas A-26 Invader. The Invader arrived late but packed 2,000 horsepower per engine into a sleek, fast attack platform. Capable of 370 MEPI while carrying 4,000 pounds of bombs, it represented the war's final evolution. Most saw Korea instead of Japan. Vultee V-72 Vengeance. The Vengeance became a cautionary tale of Allied procurement, designed for dive bombing, rejected for combat mediocrity. Its mediocre performance relegated it entirely to stateside training. Not one saw action with Marine squadrons. Brewster SB-2A Buccaneer. The Buccaneer achieved catastrophic failure status, earning the derisive Bermuda Buccaneer for never leaving training bases. Structural weakness, poor handling, and maintenance nightmares made it actively dangerous. Marines scrapped them as quickly as possible. Northrop BT-1. The BT-1 represented the evolutionary stepping stone between biplane dive bombers and the immortal Dauntless. Its retractable landing gear and enclosed cockpit pioneered features its successor perfected. Only pre-war squadrons flew them operationally. Beyond the combat aircraft, Marine Corps operations demanded everything from cargo haulers to flying ambulances. Island warfare meant supplies, wounded, and intelligence mattered as much as bombs and bullets. While fighters grabbed, headlines and dive bombers won battles, these unglamorous workhorses kept Marines alive, moving and informed across thousands of miles of hostile ocean. Next up are the transport, observation, and utility aircraft that sustained Pacific operations. Douglas R-4D Skytrain. The R-4D was the Goonie bird that became Marine Corps' aerial lifeline across the Pacific. Capable of hauling cargo, wounded, or paratroopers, its reliability made island hopping possible. More than any combat aircraft, this workhorse defined logistical warfare. Curtiss R-5C Commando. The R-5C offered larger capacity than the Skytrain, but suffered chronic engine fire problems that terrified crews. Its double-lobe fuselage carried more cargo at the cost of maintenance nightmares. Marines used them when nothing else had sufficient range. Consolidated PBY Catalina. The Catalina earned its Dumbo nickname through countless rescue missions plucking downed aviators from hostile waters. This lumbering patrol bomber traded speed for range and amphibious versatility. Its slow approach made every rescue a test of crew courage. Consolidated PB-4Y Privateer. The Privateer brought long-range patrol capabilities to submarine hunting and reconnaissance missions deep into Japanese waters. Its extended fuselage and single tail distinguished it from Navy Liberator cousins. Marines used it to track enemy shipping beyond fighter escort range. Lockheed R-50 Lodestar. The R-50 served as executive transport for high-ranking officers and time-sensitive cargo across Pacific Command networks. Its streamlined design and comfortable cabin made it the closest thing to luxury in wartime aviation. Speed mattered more than payload for VIP missions. Beechcraft SMB Navigator. The SMB trained multi-engine pilots while doubling as administrative transport for rear echelon operations. Its twin-engine configuration prepared aviators for larger aircraft. Unglamorous but essential, it kept headquarters functioning and trainees progressing. Grumman J-2F Duck. The Duck waddled off water and land alike, rescuing downed pilots from lagoons and contested beaches. Its single radial engine and biplane design seemed antiquated, yet amphibious capability proved irreplaceable. Every squadron wanted this puddle jumper nearby. Sikorsky R-4 Hoverfly. The Hoverfly represented aviation's future. becoming the first operational helicopter to conduct combat rescues. Its experimental status limited deployments, but successful evacuations from Burmese jungles proved rotary wing potential. Marines watched this strange machine and glimpsed tomorrow. Piper Any Grasshopper. The Grasshopper brought artillery spotting and liaison missions down to treetop level, where forward observers directed naval gunfire. Slow and defenseless, it relied entirely on terrain masking for survival. Pilots volunteered, knowing every flight risked ground fire. Stinson OY Sentinel. The Sentinel performed observation duties and forward air control from improvised jungle strips barely longer than football fields. Its high-wing design provided excellent downward visibility for target marking. Coordination between these unarmed spotters and strike aircraft saved countless Marine lives. Taylorcraft LBT. The LBT handled light liaison duties and expendable reconnaissance over contested territory where losing expensive aircraft seemed wasteful. Its fabric construction and minimal instrumentation made it nearly disposable. Marines flew them until they fell apart, then ordered more. Finally, before pilots could fight, they had to learn to fly. Every Corsair ace started in a yellow biplane, learning to land without killing themselves. The training pipeline transformed civilians into aviators through progressive stages of terror, frustration, and eventual mastery. These were the machines that built marine aviation from the ground up. Unglamorous, sometimes dangerous, always essential. Finally, we have the trainers and specialized aircraft that forged marine pilots. Boeing N2S Stearman. The Stearman was the yellow peril that introduced aspiring pilots to three-axis control and the consequences of mistake. Its open cockpit and forgiving handling separated natural aviators from washouts. Thousands learned to fly in this biplane before ever seeing a Corsair. North American SNJ Texan. The Texan became the pilot maker that bridged basic training and combat aircraft. Its retractable landing gear and 600 horsepower engine punished sloppy technique while rewarding precision. Marines who mastered the Texan could handle anything carrier decks threw at them. Vultee SNV Valiant. The Valiant served as basic trainer alternative when Stearman production couldn't meet demand. Its low wing configuration and enclosed cockpit offered modern features at the cost of less forgiving stall characteristics. Adequate rather than beloved, it filled necessary gaps. Naval Aircraft Factory N3N. The N3N persisted as primary seaplane trainer long, after biplanes disappeared from combat roles. Its yellow fabric and twin floats taught water landings to amphibious patrol candidates. Traditional design proved perfectly suited for fundamental instruction. Grumman F3F. The F3F fought as frontline fighter before Pearl Harbor, then trained new pilots in advanced tactics after obsolescence. Its barrel-shaped fuselage and retractable gear bridged biplane and monoplane eras. Combat veterans appreciated teaching an aircraft they'd once trusted with their lives. Brewster F2A Buffalo. The Buffalo found training redemption after combat disaster, teaching advanced students without risking them against zeros. Its poor combat record became valuable lesson about aircraft limitations. Failure in the Pacific meant second chances stateside. Curtiss SNC Falcon. The Falcon specialized in navigation instruction and instrument flying for multi-engine transition students. Its greenhouse canopy provided instructor visibility during training mishaps. Unglamorous work, but essential skills for transport and bomber crews. Ryan PT-22 Recruit. The Recruit brought civilian training aircraft design into military primary instruction programs. Its open cockpit and radial engine offered reliable introduction to powered flight. Thousands passed through before advancing to combat types. Myers OTW. The OTW saw limited primary training use with its welded steel fuselage and fabric wings. Conservative design prioritized safety over innovation. It disappeared quickly as standardization favored Stearman production. Tim N2T Tutor. The tutor represented experimental plastic construction that ended in structural failures and grounded fleets. Its innovative materials couldn't withstand training abuse. Engineers learned expensive lessons about appropriate applications for new technology. Fleetwing's BT-12. The BT-12 experimented with stainless steel construction, creating handling problems that frustrated students and instructors alike. Heavy and unresponsive, it demonstrated why aluminum dominated aviation. Most were scrapped after brief troubled service. Goodyear FG-1D Corsair. The FG-1D served dual roles as combat-capable fighter and advanced operational trainer for Corsair transition. Licensed production met demand while providing final preparation for fleet assignments. Students who survived its vicious stall characteristics graduated ready for war. From experimental failures to the aircraft that built an air force, these were the machines that turned civilians into marine aviators, and marine aviators into legends.